Recording. It's doing a countdown! Trev, go away!
They don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Step in the pit with the snakes. City of dreams, city of...
Casile, perfect timing. What's up, buddy?
Hello and welcome to Night City Red episode
hold on.
3, the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077.
I see a redacted word in that top corner.
We're going to start by taking you on a tour of Night City in a new gameplay
I know I'm
video
breaking things. I'm sorry.
and have a
I'm
chat
sorry.
with senior level designer Miles. Then
That's the
we're
wrong
going to
one!
introduce you to the gangs of Night City in another new gameplay video and have a chat with Matayush from our quest team. Then before we finish today's episode, we're going to give you a look at some of the incredible finalists in our PC case modding contest.
I'm sorry! I had to cover redacted, alright? I was going to get in trouble for that. I know I was going to get in trouble for that.
So let's get started. It's time to take you on a tour of Night City.
Whew. If redacted appears on a stream, I didn't see it. Perfect. That means I did well.
Oh my god, Juanita here. Today's news is Novamax.
Hi there. New to Night City? It's not so bad here.
How we feeling today? Cause I feel amazing.
I hate her.
The pierogies down by the docks.
Our home. Our pride. And as always, your business is my business.
And this is your World News Update.
Oh my.
Endless possibilities and endless lies.
We are fucked, America. And I don't know how we're gonna fix it.
The homeless population in Night City has risen by 300%.
Crime in Night City is now double the rate than in the new United States.
Yeah, right?
Some kind of hero.
That's a fight this city won't let you win.
On your own, you're fucked.
Well, on that note, that's it for today's info flash. Sleep tight, Night City. The grass ain't greener anywhere else.
Night City. What does it mean to you? How well do you know its history? Who was Richard Knight? How many stations are in the NCART system? Which city district boasts the best burrito in town? The answer
That's
to
the most
these
important
questions
question.
and more can be found at the address at the bottom of your
Is this appropriate for my
Check it out and
7-year-old
fall in
son?
love with Night City
This
all
stream,
over again.
right now, probably not. Come back in an hour, we'll be playing Mario. That one will be. Yeah, Cyberpunk is very adult-oriented. That's a great question. Especially because we always stay at 17 plus.
Well, since Night City is one of our stars of this episode, there is actually quite a lot to talk about. So let's start at the beginning. How did Night City come to be? Because yes, it exists in the world of the tabletop, but how do you take that and make what we've got now?
I don't know how much that relates, but I know that there's like a parent super involved with that account.
Complex as
for whatever that counts.
Is quite the ambitious project. First off, we sat down and we were really considering what is it that we wanted to do with Night City.
Gen Z, what's up? How you doing?
Night City is the star of Cyberpunk, right? It is
Is
one
this
of its
like
main
GTA?
characters.
I think it's very similar to it. So hot sauce, not again for a while.
Right?
Who knows
The
when?
word
Give me a
immersion
year.
Gets thrown around a lot, but really, we wanted you to be able to dive into it and feel like this is a real place. And then secondly, we also wanted to provide enough variety
So much
between
burn.
districts so that exploring Night City would always be fun. right? There's no point in
The
making
bar
a
is
city
called
that
Mindfuck.
is all samish, and you know it doesn't really
I
matter
would
where
drink
you
there.
go, because once you've been through one district, you feel like you've been through all of them. So for that, we first off started taking a look at the real-life geography that Night City is located on.
Yeah, I
And
went
that
PC
would be
digital for
on
this
the
one
coast of California.
2 years ago.
Knowing that Night City would be
I'm
a coastal city,
happy
gave us
on
a
this.
bit of insight into what we would expect from the city layout. You'd expect the port. You'd expect.
Yeah, since it
huge
is coastal,
industrial
I wonder
areas
if we
that
can
would
drive boats.
facilitate this kind of
That's
trade
not something
that
I've seen.
You would assume a kind.
It's a futuristic
with the world.
style
And
game
then
for
we
that
went
effect,
through
Zay.
and actually
The
divided
biggest
the
difference
city
being that it's
into
from CD
several
Projekt Red,
districts,
the
6 of them.
masterminds
Some of
behind The
them are
Witcher 3.
based on the original lore. We decided to give their own characteristics in terms of architecture, their demographics, the kind of people that would live there, and also the function within the city. Each of these districts, in turn, we divided into further sub-districts, which we further characterized using the more grand theme of the larger district. This process, I think, has resulted in a city that feels quite alive, has a lot of character, where each district feels like its own distinct zone without feeling separated from the
Solid reminder,
larger
chat. We're
picture.
putting
And
48
that
hours
results in
into this
something
game
that allows
day
the player
one,
to easily
or at least
navigate
very much
even
attempting to.
the complex concrete jungles of Night City simply by looking around and always having a rough idea where you actually are.
But Night City is clearly so different from anything we've ever created with The Witcher. Can you give us some idea about, or some insight into just
Viper?
how
How you
big
doing?
and like how densely packed Night City really
Same.
is?
Well,
Yes. So
very distinct districts.
I'm not exaggerating when
about
I'm
it.
saying
It
that
was a
Night
kill
City
there.
is easily the most complex thing that I or the others have worked on. The city is super organic, right? It's not like a chessboard layout, but the layout of the city is crazy, and you can tell that it grew in phases, right? Where buildings have been built on top of each other, and I guess the mega buildings that we have showcased are a great example of this. You'll actually see that they are located on some kind of pillar, you know, and then expand outside and then up high into the sky. And underneath it, you'll have space for other buildings. This yields a lot of interesting experiences when it comes to exploration, and that's the one thing I'm most excited about for players to experience.
That's a good
We've been
comparison.
saying that
Watch
our
Dogs mixed
exploration
with
is
Dying Light.
super
Yeah.
vertical, right? But what this really means is that it changes the way you explore
With some
the
Deus
city.
Ex
Compared to our previous
in there
games,
too.
you won't be able to easily set out on a target in the distance, right? You won't be able to say, oh, there's a castle on a hill over there, I'll try to get there, and then you'll be lost on the way. But here it's much more intimate, much more moment to moment. You might be roaming the cities and get a call by your fixer who informs you about a job nearby that you might be able to do, right? Or you find an alleyway and you walk down one of the many alleyways that the city has to offer, and it's
The
always
mocks.
a surprise. You don't know if you might stumble upon some gangers hanging out that are up to no good. Sometimes, and
Get in
these
trouble
are
in my
ones that
neighborhood.
I often get surprised with. You even stumble upon the odd elevator that is meant to connect parts of the, you know, different layers of the city, and it's quite astonishing sometimes to see.
Dude, we're gonna
where
get
you
so
come out
lost
when
in
you
this
enter one of
game.
these and, you know, find that, oh, this is actually how it connects to the world. That's crazy, and now I'm here, and now I know there's a shortcut that I can take.
Vigilante,
And
there's
again,
multiple routes.
this
You make
all
your own
serves
character.
to
It's
really
very
enhance
RPG
this
oriented.
sense of wonder that we all come to love from open world games, and the whole
I think
city
our
is
first
built
round is
to
we're going to be a corpo.
I mean, you guys.
So
have
we're gonna
really
be working
brought
for,
Night
like,
City to
corporate
life, and I
people.
really want to make a point of that. It is a living, breathing city. So as a level designer, can you give us some insight into those little touches that you guys have made? Because I hear you guys have even been placing rubbish by hand.
Oh yes, we've been placing quite a bit of rubbish, and that's certainly one of the more glorious parts of being a level designer or an environment artist, where you get to litter the streets that you've spent time building with the garbage. But it's details such as this that we find really important to make the city feel alive, and also we take great pride in the process of making this, right? We have a lot of fun actually placing a lot of what we call mini stories, right? These are little encounters that you can find when you simply walk along the streets. Of course, we have huge quests, right? Side quests, we have lots of side activities that you can do, but it always is nice to just kind of stop down for a minute and take a look at your surroundings that we have so lovingly created, and try to see if there maybe isn't something that you can be a little detective for. Now, one other thing that I think is really, really cool is also the fact that we have actually named every single street in the city.
Oh yeah,
so
dude.
Not only will NPCs be able to
COD Story's
communicate
12
their
hours.
locations or the
They've already
they
said
want
that
you
this
to
is going to
visit
be 100 plus.
referring to the street names, but
Just,
also
saying.
you will be able to talk to your friends about it in that way, right? Have you been to?
And that's for
Panda
one
City
run,
in
and each
Japan
run
Town,
can be
for example?
vastly different,
And
depending on your choices.
I think this is a small detail, but the
Cyberpunk
philosophy that we
is my
have
most
with these
anticipated
kind
game of the
is
year.
that, you know, many small things contribute to the sum of it, which is hopefully then you being able to explore a city that you feel is truly alive and that you haven't been experiencing before.
Well, Miles, thank you so much for giving us your insight. I suppose when the game launches, you could
Yeah.
be an official Night City tour guide instead, right?
I might be, yeah. You know, if this game dev thing doesn't work out for me, I might retire and become a tour guide in Night City.
Don't forget that if you are tuning in late or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. Now, from the 6th Street to the Valentinos, it's time to introduce you to the gang.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm excited. She's scaring me. Yeah, I can't imagine working for CD Projekt. That would be so much pressure.
Stronger survive. But that's how things stand. You're either somebody, or you fizzle out into nothing.
Denzi ain't a city that lets you get by without buddies.
Be very careful, my friend. We are all so far from home.
Which gang's the city's biggest and baddest, according to the NCPD?
Scavs hold the body count title. Or Maelstrom, depending on the season.
One time, a Maelstrom ganger killed a young kid right in front of my eyes for shits and giggles.
Crumb-sucking psychos.
And who the fuck are you to say what can and can't be? I'm gonna introduce you to our meat grinder.
About time we had some fun! Think Maelstrom never forgets? Never!
I hate these Borg fuckers.
Just a gang like any other, right?
I'll take the Valentinos. They follow God and the Santa Madre. Honor means something to them.
How'd you meet Jackie?
We started out together.
In the Valentinos?
No, in the fucking Bible book club.
I gotta give style points to the Valentinos. They have a punishment for every occasion.
Gangster life, puto!
Quick shout out to everyone in Haywood and Santo Domingo. Lately, the Valentinos and 6th Street have had a
Yeah, this is gonna help us. For sure.
6th Street. Why'd they want to wipe you?
Can't fucking stand Tinos.
I've dealt with 6th Street before. We do the run, they'll transfer the cred.
Come on, let's go before 6th Street shows up.
Shot! Any more Second Amendment fans in the house, huh?
Hate those bastards.
Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna like them.
Time to bring on the future.
Any idea how many attacks from behind the Black Wall we neutralized? If the Voodoo Boys breach the Black Wall, we'll all be fucked.
Voodoo Boys? Urban myth, I thought. Just net runners spooking each other. No such gang.
You know, I heard a few things about you. The Voodoo Boys, best runners in town.
You do not steal from the Voodoo Boys. I see you, always.
For them, Pacifica's just Haiti 2.0. Their own island, cut off from the rest of the city.
This is our turf, our home. Until last week, the animals crawled in.
Animals are the craziest fucking gang in the city.
Dude, an animal run would be really fun.
Breaker skull!
They're like super modified people. I remember like something talking about them in the past.
I fucked you over, you fucked the gang over. Somewhere at the start of the story, somebody fucked the corp. See how this works now?
My husband's new Westbrook, very high in the tiger claws. They did what made the best eddies, sold sex and black market tech.
See a lot of tigers. They run this place.
Know what else they do well? Break the knees of people who ask questions.
I gotta do something.
Shut the fuck up! The tigers will kill us.
Come on, baby. Tiger claws killed one girl too many, so people took matters.
I think I might need that PS5 controller. Now that we've got one, baby.
Pimps, outcasts, the whole freak show. It's how the Mox got started.
Think you're some kind of gangoon now, huh?
Us Moxes have each other's back. We look out for one another.
You looking for some company tonight?
How'd you hook up with the
Oh.
I thought Susie and the gang could really change something.
No,
in
we
this
got the
city.
console. Yeah.
Moxes and nomads don't seem so different. Both seem to yammer a lot about community, solidarity. Tell me about the Badlands. Not much going on out here, huh?
Au contraire.
As in, we got a pre-order, guys. Like, we got a pre-order.
Nomads, rapid
No,
shift,
yeah.
corporations, and drifters, they form a complete whole. Remove one part.
We'll talk about it in a little bit. Hold on. We need to watch this chat.
Here in the Aldecaldos, it all stays.
We got the disc version for $500.
What comes first, family or the outside world?
This family will go to hell and back.
Everyone in this city lives in their own bubble, and either you fly high or sink into quicksand.
Damn. We ended up finding out on Walmart. Walmart pre-orders went up again.
Mateusz, thank you
And we ended up
so
using
much
the
for
app, and
joining
the
us.
app let us
I
get
have
one. So if you're trying to hunt
personally
it,
been
apparently
really
Walmart
excited
pre-orders
to
are going to
give
be
people a
alive again
close look at the
tonight.
gangs. We've shown a little bit on Twitter.
Try
but
using
their
the app
styles
instead of
are
the site.
So distinct.
Yes, I enjoyed them a lot as well in our game. I think they're very cool.
But let's start then with the kind of role that they play, because gangs really do play a prominent role in Night City, correct?
Yes, definitely.
This game is coming out on November 17th, or is it 19th, chat?
The newest weaponry.
It's a week after
really a power that everyone
the
needs to
PS5
take
launch.
into account
19th.
when they are
It's the 19th.
thinking of
November
operating
19th.
in
Thank
Night
you.
City. You will encounter them as you explore the city, of course, but also as you complete main
Because we have a
quests,
week
side
to beat
quests,
Miles Morales.
Different jobs for the fixers. Sometimes you might even get hired by them.
But then, I suppose everybody's thinking then, can you join a gang?
Well, V is a merc, and mercs of Night City are this unique, distinct group that stick mostly to themselves, right? And they get jobs from variety of factions. They can get jobs from corporations, they can get jobs from gangs, they can get jobs from different kind of like influential clients. Because of this, nobody will ever trust a merc to be one of them, right? And the gangs are no exception here. They are looking only for like people that they know will be loyal to them, right? And that they will fight for their cause all of the time, not just some of the times when it's profitable to them. So because of this, V will mostly stick to the Afterlife. And the Afterlife are this group of mercs, this legendary group of mercenaries in Night City. They get the best jobs, they get the most money, the best clients, and so on. So if you want to become a legend in Night City, you are going to the Afterlife.
So we've obviously mentioned distinct style then. So does that mean there are kind of special gang-themed weapons and items and clothing for players to find and use?
If you're going for best, go
Definitely. There are
3080 and then
different
Cyberpunk
vehicles
or
that you
3090.
can drive, for example. There are cars.
I'm going to be
there are
sticking with my
motorbikes,
2080 Ti, chat. I thought about it a
then,
lot.
Of course, there are different pieces of clothing.
The 3080 is like a
themed after
3 to
gangs,
4%
there are
increase. It's
weapons
not much.
And so on. So yeah.
After
definitely
seeing the
there are
actual
things to
benchmarks
look forward
yesterday.
to.
I suppose as somebody who's spent as much time as you have,
That said, good luck
kind of
finding a
getting
3080.
to know the gangs, I have to ask, which is your favorite and why?
So I would have to
there was a
say
few different sites that I
probably
looked at.
Maelstrom, simply because they have this.
Because there was a whole bunch of
distinct
benchmarking
feel,
sites that popped up yesterday.
and this weird aesthetic about them. So the idea about Maelstrom is they are people who want to cross the boundary between the machine and human, right? They are changing so much of their body with cyberware that they no longer look human, really. On top of that, they are also very unpredictable. It's very difficult to say what they will do at any point when you meet them. At one moment, they can be shaking hands with you, and at the other moment, you know, they will pull gun out on you, and they bring in this element of chaos into the game, which I really enjoy personally.
Oh, Matty, thank you so much for joining us. It's always interesting to learn what your favorite gang is. I think it kind of tells me a little bit about you.
Oh, does it? What does it say about me?
Well, we'll talk about that later. But for now, before we wrap up today's episode, we asked people to show us their creativity and design a PC case mod, Cyberpunk style. Our panel of judges selected 5 finalists, and we teamed them up with professional case modders to bring their concept to
I know I've mentioned this in the past when we were watching these, but her eyes are so freaking blue, dude. It's crazy.
These 5 amazing designs will be fighting for the main prize, an Alienware Aurora PC, along with other awesome gaming peripherals. Brought to you
Oh,
by
the
our
2080
partners,
Ti. Well, that's a little
Alienware,
outdated
NVIDIA,
now.
and SteelSeries. let's see the mods.
It's still an incredibly strong card though. Like I'm happy with that one.
Absolutely loved this one.
Oh, dude.
The whole aesthetic works with each other.
Absolutely next level. Honestly, kind of terrifying.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Exactly the type of thing I would expect to find at a trade show.
It really looks like it could have come straight out of the game.
That one's rad.
To watch the full PC case modding video and to get more information about when the winning design will be available on charity auction, stay tuned to our social media channels. Looking at those PC case mods, it reminds me that we do have one more thing to reveal.
We'll probably check that out eventually.
If you're going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077 on PC when it launches this November, we do have some specs to share that I think some of you have been waiting for. The minimum
Is it the true minimum
requirements
specs?
for Cyberpunk are a Windows 7 or 10 PC, an Intel Core i5 3570K
This already got
or
leaked, though.
AMD FX 8310, 8 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780 or an AMD
That's lower
Ryzen
than the leak.
RX 470. In the storage department, the game will take up roughly 70 gigs of space,
8899
and although it will run off a
9899. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well along with Tyler Houston. Welcome.
As for the recommended specs, you're in the green if you're rocking Windows 10, an Intel
SSD
Core
recommended.
i7 4790 or AMD Ryzen 3 3200G, 12 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 or AMD Radeon R9 Fury. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 3 of Night City Wire. Don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels shortly, and we will
I need
be
to clear
back
some space
soon
on my
with
SSD, chat.
episode 4.
That was a pretty cool one.